months ago, I decided that I wanted to completely change my life. I made a commitment to not be perfect, but show up and document the whole entire process. In this 6-month journey, I'm focusing on 6 areas of my life: physical health, image, mental health, finances, hobbies, and lifestyle. And I want to see how much change I can create in real time. We're now at the halfway point today, so I want to walk you through the good, the bad, and everything in between. I want to show you how it's been going so far, and just right in the middle, what I've achieved already. I'm genuinely excited to talk to you about everything, like what went really well, better than expected, what completely flopped and I didn't do, and just show you what's been going on. But I also want to be transparent and tell you that this has not been perfect at all. There's been ups and downs, there's been stuff that has been going wrong, and I just want to be completely honest with you. Since starting this challenge, life has been busy. I've had great weeks, but also weeks where I didn't film or track almost anything, and that's okay because life isn't linear, and that's exactly why I wanted to do this challenge and why I wanted to document it. So now let's get to the results, the numbers, the progress, and what's changed and what hasn't. So I just came back from a workout and I wanted to start with the progress that I'm most proud of. So let's talk about physical health. This is what I've put the most focus in over the last 3 months, and that's where the progress really has been, and the results really show that. As a little recap, before starting this challenge I'd already lost about 7 to 8 kilos, and before that I had a history of dieting and then binge eating for years before deciding to go into a healthy relationship with food and starting to figure that out, then going into intuitive eating and having that whole thing for at least 1.5 to 2 years, and now I'm back at trying to lose fat and doing that in a more sustainable way than I've ever done before. So I do actually have a whole video explaining my history on dieting and intuitive eating and binge eating, so we'll link that for you up here, but I can also make some more videos about it if you're interested. But let's get into the results now of this physical health portion of the challenge. So what has been happening over the past 3-ish months is that I've lost another 3 to 4 kilos without depriving myself or being overly restrictive. I really call that a win because it's literally only been 3 months. So having that kind of progress, even though it might seem not a lot to some people, I really wanted to go the sustainable route and wanted to do it slowly. I really call that a win, and I also kind of see it in my clothes, on the scale of course, but yeah, I've been liking the progress that I've been making and I'm really proud of that. I've put my whole energy basically of this challenge in there. I've literally just been in a constant calorie deficit, a moderate one, not too big, just because I wanted it to be sustainable. And of course there's been ups and downs, but generally I've been feeling pretty good and it has not been too restrictive for me personally, also because I've always had more or less some breaks over the weekend because I couldn't really control what I was eating because I wasn't always home, and I also had the vacation in between all of this, so that's a phase of my life as well. There's ups and downs. I couldn't really control that much while I was in vacation, and I also did not want to be completely honest. I wanted to enjoy my vacation without having to focus on losing fat drastically while on a vacation, because I just feel like I'm just gonna set myself up for failure that way. Knowing what to expect and what you can actually do is also really important when setting out to do a challenge like this. And I also really wanted to give my body a break since I already had lost like 7-8 kilos before, so having the break over summer was working out pretty well for me, especially because after summer, like I said, I lost another 3 to 4 kilos. So that really worked out for me. As for workouts, I'm pretty much still doing what I've been doing before. It's just once a week I'm doing yoga on Monday, then I do mainly 2 strength training sessions a week on Wednesday and Friday, and then I walk my dog twice a day Monday through Friday, but it's not long walks, and my dog is pretty old, so he's slow. It's not really a walk that you would count as like a real walk. It's more so like having some fresh air, but I also do that. And optionally I have another 2 to 3 workouts if I feel up to them. I don't always do them. Sometimes I do some workouts on the weekends, but it's very optional. I don't, yeah, like I said, I don't always do them, but I have my core things that I do, which is yoga once a week, and then 2 strength training sessions, which is one is a glute focused strength training session and the other one is a full body. But it has been working pretty well for me, especially because it's sustainable, it's not too much, and it seems to be working still. So I feel like unless it doesn't work anymore, I'm gonna continue doing this, and otherwise I will like up my workouts or something like that if I notice that it doesn't work the way I want it to anymore. Like I said before, if you want a video that is much more in depth with how I've lost these total of 11 kilos now, let me know. I would really love to do that for you, and just maybe also do some other videos about fat loss, or what I've learned in the progress and how I'm actually doing it without stressing too much about it and without it becoming so obsessive, and just kind of integrating it into your life. And yeah, I might just do some like nutrition videos or things that are important to know while you're maybe on a fat loss journey, mindset as well, and just everything I've learned so far. So let me know if you're interested. I would love to do that. But yeah, for the most part, I really feel like I found a routine that works for me, that is sustainable and that I can stick with. And if there's one thing you can take from this video, is really that to be successful in anything, you really just have to find what's sustainable, what you can do consistently, and then integrate that into your life as a routine. Because when it becomes something you do on autopilot, it just becomes so much easier, because there's literally no reason for you to maybe not go to the gym, because you just know Wednesday, for example, is your gym day, so you just go. There's no should I go, should I not go. When you take that out of the equation, it just makes everything a lot easier. For image, one thing I wanted to do was treatments or things that make me low maintenance in my day-to-day life. One of these things was laser hair removal treatment, and I'm almost at my 5th session now, so I've been going really well with that. Thankfully there's not much thinking involved with it, just planning and going. So that's been a really easy one to tick off my to-do list, and I've been really happy. So if any of you are thinking about getting laser hair removal, I'm only on my 5th session and there's like a huge difference. I've been doing literally my whole body, and it's slowly showing that, yeah, I really don't have to shave as much. I basically can go the whole month-ish between the sessions without even shaving and just doing it the night before. So that's been going amazing and I'm really happy with it. I'm definitely going to continue doing it. Of course it's going to go over the 6 months, but I want to do it, and it's like a long-term commitment, and it's literally been something I wanted to do for ages. Like even a 15-year-old me was like, I don't want to deal with that anymore, and as soon as I can I'm gonna get laser hair removal. So I'm very, very glad that I finally started doing this. I also am still doing my nails at home. Right now they're looking a bit old. I've not done them in a while, but I'm still doing them occasionally. Like I always get a new set. I never go like without them. They're just a bit grown out now. And I also get my eyebrows waxed once a month, more or less. So yeah, I've been doing some stuff here and there. And then one more thing that I wanted to show you is the fashion aspect of this image section, because I found an app that is really amazing. Because first of all, I have not done my autumn winter vision board yet for my fashion that I wanted, because the first one that I did in my first video was more so for summer, since it was about to be summer. But now we're going into autumn and winter, so I kind of want to change it up and figure out what I want for this season. And yeah, I still have to do that, but I found a really good app. It's not sponsored or anything, but I found it, and you basically, I'm gonna show you here, but basically you can photograph all of the clothes from your closet. I don't have too many, so it was kind of manageable. If you have a lot of clothes, it's gonna be a bit of work, but basically you photograph your clothes and then you can like try and fit them with each other. Like you can choose the top, you can choose the bottom, you can choose shoes, and then mix and match and see how it looks before even trying them on. And sometimes I don't want to be like trying on different outfits for just random reasons, and usually I just wear the same things over and over again. So I kind of wanted to see how my clothes that I already have in my closet could fit together, and it really works amazingly. You can also just shuffle the clothes and then it randomizes top, bottom and shoes, and you can also add jackets and accessories, so it's really fun to play around. I've already created a few outfits and they look really cute, and I'm saving them for when I go somewhere or want a specific outfit. And I've just been using this app and it's been very fun to play around with it, so that's definitely something you can try out if you want. I think it's called Fits, but I will put it on the screen if it's not that. And yeah, basically it's just fun to see what you can do with the clothes that you already have in your wardrobe. Now for the lifestyle section, I've basically only had the goals of decluttering, having reset systems and doing some moving prep. And decluttering is kind of an ongoing process, so I've been doing it here and there and just kind of trying to not hold on to too much stuff that I don't need, and going through some things like makeup or just my closet and looking at things and being like, okay, do I really need that, or is it just sitting there and I never use it? So I've been doing that. Now for the reset systems, I've actually completely forgot that that was on my list to do, so I really have to kind of figure out how I want to incorporate them into my life, and yeah, how I want to do like maybe a Sunday reset or a cleaning reset or something like that, and yeah, get into a routine to doing those things. And for the moving prep, I have slowly been starting to do things more so with like decluttering, which I already mentioned, but since there's nothing that is fixed yet, I really can't start doing that much yet. I'm very excited for moving if it happens, but basically I'm not sure. Like it would be really quick once I know that we're moving. It's just going to be like a month and everything is going to be very stressful in that month or two, and then we have to move. But basically right now there's not too much I can do, more so just planning and looking at apartments and yeah, but not really doing like packing or something like that yet, because I really don't know when I'm gonna move yet and if I'm gonna move anytime soon, but I don't know, so we'll see. Now for hobbies, I've done quite a few things. Let's start with reading. Since starting the 6 months challenge, I've read 5 books. Most of them were on vacation though, because I had just tons of time and was reading literally all the time, and I didn't do anything else basically. I read when we were at the beach, I read when we were at home, I read when we were going somewhere, like literally that was all I was doing. And yeah, it was really nice. I enjoyed the books I was reading, they were very interesting, but yeah, I've come back from vacation, I've read maybe 1 book, 2 books, but yeah, it slowed down quite a bit, but I did read 5 books total. I think 5 books in 3 months is still pretty good, even though my goal initially was to read 20 books in 6 months, which might have been a bit ambitious, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. I'll try, of course, but I think the most important thing is that I enjoyed the books that I read and then reading more than I would otherwise, and that's definitely happened. So I am still counting it as a success, even though it's only been 5 books. Now in the last video I mentioned that I hadn't really gotten into scrapbooking as much yet, But since then I've actually done a few more pages, and I've done one of my favorite pages I've done so far. I'm actually going to show you because I really love this page. It's about vacation. It's not the one that I've just been on, but one I've done in April. We went to Fuerteventura and it was just really cute, and I really love how it turned out. And yeah, it's just a cute little page. I also did some more pages. Wait, I have to get rid of these things. I did like a recap with recent reads, and yeah, just something else over there. But I've done a few pages, and yeah, I mean, I can still do more, of course. You can always do more, and I have a few things that I've printed out and still want to put into my journal. But yeah, I've been enjoying it, but I still have to still have more to go. I mean, the more you live life, the more you have to put into your scrapbook. So I just kind of am trying to catch up with everything that I've done so far and then putting it all in there. But I have printed out some things, and I will definitely continue doing this because I just want it as a memory. I love the idea of having this book with all of like scraps and memories and pictures and things that I wrote down about like a vacation or a day. And yeah, that's what I really like about this. Now let's get to the elephant in the room, which is YouTube. I really have not been putting that much energy into YouTube. I've put it into other things, like the 6 months challenge has gone on for me, especially with my health and wellness and fitness and the physical portion of this challenge. I've done that, I've progressed there, but the YouTube is the first thing that fell off when I had a lot to do. And yeah, I just think it's a bit sad. Like, I really wanted to document this process, and I wasn't sure if I should even still continue if I didn't document it, but I feel like I have been doing the things, I've just not been documenting them. So I wanted to update you, I wanted to show you what I've done, and I wanted to show you, even though not everything went perfectly, I'm still showing up and I'm still continuing, because that's exactly why I wanted to do this challenge and why I wanted to film these videos. And yeah, I just really want to get back into it, try to film. I think the reason why I got so overwhelmed was, especially on vacation, there was a lot of people and it was so unplanned and nothing had structure, so I really did not continue with YouTube for a while. But I mean, it doesn't mean that I stopped completely. I'm still doing my things and I'm updating you in the halfway point. So basically I'm still going on, I'm still doing it, I'm still continuing the challenge, and this is just my check-in with you to show you what has been happening. So since I didn't post on YouTube for this whole time, there wasn't really a possibility for me to make my first dollar online from YouTube, and I also didn't really promote my digital products that I had outside of YouTube. So yeah, that basically has not really continued with my finances and making my first dollar online. But that doesn't mean that it's not working. It just means that I have to kind of pivot and try harder and actually film my videos, and also maybe promote digital products or make new ones that would interest people, or maybe also just figuring out how to make money online, or my first dollar online outside of YouTube and filming videos, and maybe also just figuring out what else I could do. Now, even though this wasn't part of my goals for the mental health portion of this challenge, I think that it definitely played a huge role during these 3 months for me. Even just picking the camera back up and filming right now, it just feels like I failed or did something wrong because I hadn't filmed in so long. And I think this challenge is definitely pushing me outside of my comfort zone, and that's also one of the reasons that I wanted to do it. But it's definitely hard not falling into the mindset of having failed already, even though I've been doing so many things. Just because I didn't do YouTube for this time doesn't mean that I've completely failed the challenge, because the challenge wasn't to do everything. The challenge was to change my life and figure out how much I can do in this time, and do it even though it's not gonna be perfect. And I knew that from the start, but it still feels like I failed somehow. Ending this section on a more positive note though, I am pretty proud of myself for picking my camera back up, even though I have these thoughts of feeling like a failure because I didn't do what I actually planned to do. And just trying to think that the challenge is not done yet. It doesn't mean I failed. I'm still able to make a change, and that's what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm picking my camera back up, and that's why I'm filming and actually documenting this process. And I have been doing the things, I just have not been filming them. So I feel like I'm still pretty proud of myself for what I've achieved in these 3 months. I still have a whole 3 months to go. I'm definitely going to continue setting goals and figuring out what to do for the new year, because that's pretty close now too. And basically it just kind of represents a new section, a new period of my life. And I think that after this challenge it's a pretty good transition from going to go into the new year, because I'm really set up for myself, because I have been working on this stuff for 6 months then, and going into the new year more prepared maybe, and more where I want to be in my life. So I'm actually really excited for that. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself for standing back up, even though I think I failed. And you can definitely do that too. If you think that you messed something up, if you feel like you have failed, it never means that you should stop there. Like, you only fail when you stop. And basically I think something that kept me going is that it's never black and white, it's never all or nothing. Because if you think like that, it's most definitely gonna be nothing. You're basically not gonna do anything. And I wanted to maybe take a bit of the pressure off and just be happy with myself for doing something, one thing at a time. And knowing that maybe this challenge is a challenge because it's hard to do everything at the same time. And in normal life you wouldn't do like 6 different areas of your life and trying to complete them all in 6 months. That isn't really realistic, but that's also why I wanted to do it. So I really hope that this video has helped you just kind of see where I'm at, and see that basically even though you think that you failed, you think that you've messed up, it's not over yet. You can still do it, especially now thinking about the new year. There's still a lot of time to go, and you can start now. You can figure out what you want to do and be prepared for when the new year starts. Definitely want to do videos about that as well, and just preparing for the new year and setting yourself up for success without thinking that you have to start next year. You can start right now, because you're going to be so much more ahead of everyone else and yourself if you would have started in January. And I hope that you can relate to this, and if you're going through a similar version of this yourself, that you know you're not alone. And I've been going through that too, and trying to figure out how to actually continue and find the motivation and just a mindset to still keep going. But just know that you're not a failure and you can do this. So I really hope that I see you in my next video. Bye!